So I've been taking a little bit of time today to go through some of my emails from some of the businesses that I work with throughout the country. And right now, hiring seems to be a really big problem, right? Hiring is a really big, major issue for a lot of companies. And they either don't hire the right people or the right candidate ends up slipping through their fingers. Well, some of this they actually own. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the interview process. If you are a person who does interviews, you need to hear what I have to say, right? Guys, an interview process is not the same as an onboarding process, right? You don't, during the interview, have to sell anybody on your company or on the job. Let me say that again. You don't have to sell anybody on your company or on the job. The person sitting across from you put in an application because they want a job. You called them. They're here for the interview because they want a job, the job. You selling them on how great a company it is to work for is not an interview. It's not an interview, okay? The only time you sell somebody on a company is if you're trying to recruit them away from someone else, not during the interview process when they're sitting across from you. The other thing that people fail to do and really have no idea what they're doing is when they're asking questions. Don't ask questions that they're going to answer yes to. So Bob, we kind of require you to be here every day. Do you think you're the type of person that can come in every single day? What are they going to say? No. Now, do you have reliable transportation to get back and forth to work? What do you think they're going to say? No. Well, I want people to be honest with me. Then stop forcing them to lie to you to get the job. All right? If you ask questions that force the candidate to lie to you, you're going to get lies. That doesn't make for a great work relationship. So when we're asking questions, we want to know something deeper, right? The idea behind an interview is finding out if this person is a great fit for your organization. How do they fit into the culture? How will they fit in personality-wise? How do they like working as a team or working solo? Get an idea of, hey, tell me about some of the jobs that you've had and what you were able to do in there. Tell me something about, what you loved about the last job you had and what you hated about it. Go down the list of all the jobs that they've had and really hone in on why did you leave. People will tell you it was the greatest place to work on the planet, but they had to leave because why? If every single time their comment is, I left because of management issues, I left because of conflict with managers, every single time they answer that question with conflict between employees and management, the only common denominator there is what? That employee that's sitting across from you, that candidate sitting across from you, not necessarily the companies that they work for. Are there shitty companies out there of bad management? Absolutely. And there's a lot more of them out there than you would possibly ever think. But, the old saying that holds true is this, the best job I ever had was the last job that I just left, right? The last job that I just left. Most people don't know how that good they have it at the last job until they leave and they find a different job working for somebody else. So when it comes to interviewing, ask deeper questions. Get them to open up and talk about themselves. What do they like to do in their spare time? What drives them? What gets them out of bed in the morning? Why do they want to work for your company? What makes them the best candidate out of all the other candidates that you have? And I even ask the question, that really puts them on the spot and say, look, if I've got candidates that are more qualified than you and I do, why should I hire you over them? They need to sell themselves to you, not you selling to them. So that's how interviews work. That's how they're supposed to work. And here's the last thing that I'm going to say about interviewing, right? I'm a big believer in integrity. Huge, massive believer in integrity. If you tell somebody that you're going to call them, whether they get the job or not, you better call them back because your integrity is on the line. And if you're going to do that with a candidate across the table, And I would actually prefer, if the candidate is not qualified, you tell them during the interview, you're just not what we're looking for. Really appreciate your time and interest in our offer, but you're just not who we're looking for. Let them down at that point. If you're using the old, I'll call you, let you know one way or the other to get away from disappointing somebody, trust me when I say this, that person across from you would much rather know if they're going to get the job or not when they leave than waiting for the phone to ring. All you're doing there is creating animosity, and you're creating a lot of anxiety for that person that's unneeded. If you have no intention of hiring the person sitting across from you, then do them a favor and do yourself a favor. Stop lying to them by telling them you're going to call them and not ever calling them. Just let them know right then and there. Listen, with your qualifications, you're really just not what we're looking for at this point in time, but down the road, maybe you will be. Thanks for coming in. Interviewing, it's incredibly important. The other thing that you need to understand, and I've run into this a lot of times too, if you have a really, really, really strong candidate, guys, you can't wait 4, 5, 6 days to get back to that person. You need to get back to them right away. If this is somebody that you're really interested in hiring, you need to let them know immediately. Why? Right now, they have so many opportunities out there. Trust me when I tell you, someone else will snag them up. If they're as good a candidate as they claim to be on paper, somebody else will hire them, and you will be out of luck. That's what I've got to say, guys. The interview process is really, really important, and stay tuned because I've got another video that's coming up talking about how to do interviews, and I'll give you some specifics on some questions to ask people that will make them shocked about interviewing you. All right, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, give me some thumbs up, and leave some comments because I do read each and every one of those. I walk through all those comments all the time, and I do respond. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.